I'm Leslie.
And I'm Shelly.
And we're
Sisters in Ebert.
Welcome back for another Movie Monday.
Part 2.
Dos.
The Godfather.
We're going to try to keep this quicker.
I know.
Because these are so long and they're going way longer than we intended.
Yeah, we gotta move ourselves along.
So, to start our video, this is a summer movies movie. Shelly will give a very abridged version of what our squirrel rating is.
Okay, so we were forced to watch these movies. And if we liked the movie, then we didn't watch the squirrels outside our window. If we did not, how did I say it the first time? If we did not like it, we were staring at the squirrels. If it was
boring, if it was uncomfortable, if it was like overly sexual in nature.
Yeah.
Second feature.
Stuff young preteens don't want to see.
With their parents sitting right there.
Yeah, with their father. Then we would stare at the squirrels, and so the squirrel rating will be super high.
Yes. So this will be, subject to our squirrel rating. Yes, exactly. Okay. So Godfather Part 2. This was made 2 years after Godfather 1. This is 1974.
Yes, I think the proper time for a sequel.
I agree.
I
agree.
Yes.
We open to Michael. It jumps back and forth a lot, first of all, this one, too. And it's so long. It's so long. It's over 3 hours.
Over 3 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It took a long time for us both to get
Yes, yeah. So we open to Michael having his ring kissed in Allegiance, which was the final scene in Part 1, as he is now in charge of the family. He's the Godfather.
He is the Godfather.
Vito, his father, Don Vito, was born Vito Andolini in Corleone, Sicily, and in 1901 his father was murdered for an insult to a local mafia chief, or captain or something. Okay.
Somebody important.
Yeah. His older brother swore revenge and disappeared, leaving Vito to be the man of the house and at the funeral at 9 years old. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're kind of opening in the absolute next scene. So we're jumping back in time to 1900
It was
whatever.
A little confusing at first.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
His older brother Paolo was also murdered at the funeral procession for the father, because he showed up and he was like, it's me, or whatever. And
yeah. So now he's the head of the family.
The head of the family.
Yeah.
He's the man of the house.
Yes.
At 9. Mother goes to Don Ciccio to plead for Vito's life and says he's dumb-witted and never speaks. Mother tries to kill the Don and is also killed, and Vito is the only one left and in hiding, as they also want him dead to wipe out the family and be done.
Yeah. So he's the last living descendant
of
here.
the Andolini family.
Yes.
Vito is sent to America alone at age 9 in 1901. In Ellis Island, he gets his name changed to Vito Corleone and has smallpox, must quarantine for 3 months. We cut to Lake Tahoe, Nevada in 1958 to his grandson, Anthony Vito Corleone's first communion and a big party.
Yeah, so now we're back in present day.
Yeah, which is 1958.
Yes.
At the new Corleone compound. So remember in the last one they were leaving New York.
Yes.
And they moved to Nevada. So the old compound was sold to
another family.
Yeah, in the last mafia somebody who was somebody who was reporting to them, because it comes up later. Yeah.
I forgot.
I have it written. I forget the names again. There's 800 names.
There's so many names. It's so confusing, and they all sound very similar to each other.
Connie is flitting around, not caring for her children with her new boyfriend, and wants to see Michael. Where's Michael? I want to see Michael. Where is he?
She's aloof.
She is something.
She was over the top in the first one. She's over the top. She's consistently over the top. Yeah.
The first one, though, she was wife, mother in that role. Now she's a little tart who's kind of pushed her kids off on the family and not taking care of them.
She hit a breaking point when
not your husband, Michael. Not your husband. When Carlo died.
Yes, when Michael had Carlo killed.
Michael is in good with the senator, and Tom Hagen remains the lawyer and meets with the senator, who wanted to meet alone with Michael. The Corleones now control 2 Vegas hotels and 1 in Reno, and they're trying to expand further. The senator is trying to squeeze Michael for more expensive license to force his hand and control him. And Michael instead refuses to pay even the game licensing fees and have the senator cover them for him. Because they're essentially negotiating, but it's a very passive-aggressive negotiation. The casinos are all owned by silent partners. And Hyman Roth is a barrier to Michael's affairs, who we are just introduced to in this movie, I think, because I didn't remember him from the first. Yeah. So Hyman Roth is like in charge of all this. Connie and Merle, her boyfriend, Merle. They come to see Michael, and Connie is recently divorced again. So she has had several marriages since Carlo. And is completely uninvolved with her kids. Michael offers for her to live in the compound instead of giving money for her to get married again to Merle. And if Connie marries, it will disappoint Michael.
Yeah, he's not giving his blessing.
And he is kind of in the dad role to her.
Yeah.
She is absolutely treating him like she did her father.
I mean, the only other person it could be is Fredo, and he ain't a father figure. So, yep.
Not to no one.
It's Michael.
Connie blames all her problems on Vito being dead and Michael being in charge.
I mean, kinda.
Because he's not letting, but her husband had her brother whacked. Let's not forget that.
And her husband beat her senseless
while she was pregnant.
Yes. I don't think it was going to get better.
No. So Fredo's wife is sloppy drunk and escorted out. She's like a real pretty, like Vegas-y looking, like showgirl type.
Yes.
Problems with the Corleone family back in New York. Kay is pregnant again and worries as Michael promised the Corleones would be legitimate in 5 years, and that was 7 years ago.
Oops.
Anthony leaves a drawing on Michael's pillow, and Michael is nearly gunned down in the bedroom that night.
Yes.
Just comes in after the party, sees this sweet drawing from his son. Yes. It was like a car, right? Like him in a car.
Yeah, and it was, he asked him a question. I was like, yes, no.
Do you like it?
Do you like this or something? Yes, no. And he was supposed to check a box.
Yeah.
And he noticed like the window was open. And I was like, why is that open?
Yeah, because it was, yeah, exactly. So they hit the ground. He covers Kay. Like he did. I mean, it's not like he just left her to fend herself.
He protected her best he could in that scenario.
Yeah, because it was all of a sudden. It just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Michael can only trust Tom now, as Fredo has a good heart but is weak.
Truth.
Yes.
True story.
And Michael plans to leave that night and have Tom take over as the Don. Fredo's wife is still uncontrolled. So Michael needs to go into hiding, essentially, because this was a direct hit on him.
They're coming for him.
So that's why they want to make Tom in charge.
Yeah.
And Fredo is passed over again.
Do we know who?
Not at this point.
Okay.
No. The shooters were killed, but Michael knows someone close to him is who orchestrated it.
Yes, he did say that he was like somebody. Yeah. Somebody knows this
because somebody had to know
somebody on the inside
where his bedroom was,
yes,
when he would be going. But that's not just common knowledge. Michael puts his son back to sleep and wants to go with Dad and help him, but obviously he's not going to take his 9-year-old.
Yeah, let me just take you along. Well, Vito was 9. He was handling it fine.
I know. Vito was living on his own in New York. He was getting things done.
He got on a boat from Sicily and went to the country where he didn't speak the language.
We cut to New York City, 1917. Vito Corleone with baby Santino. He's at a play with his friend, and Vito is loyal to his wife and son.
She mentioned this is Robert De Niro.
Oh, yes, playing this. Yes, because Marlon Brando was not passed at this point, but he was just not in the movie, right?
Yeah, so he
hadn't passed away, though.
No,
he was still alive.
They didn't ask him to be part of it.
He had a lot of problems in the first one. Yes. They would have to, he wasn't learning his lines. They'd be holding up cue cards.
Yeah, and they didn't really jive well. And then somebody suggested oh, we could make him look younger, and they're like, eh. And Robert De Niro actually auditioned for Godfather 1
as Michael, right?
No, I think
as Don Vito.
Yeah, I think so.
I did not know.
And they were like, he was great, but they decided to go a different direction, and then they remembered his audition and they sought him out for this.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he was perfect for this. He
looked just like
so
Marlon Brando.
He looked like him. It was perfect. He won an Academy Award for this.
He did, yes, and that was well deserved. Yes. Yeah. He's at a play. Oh yeah, he's loyal to his wife and son. He's at this play with his friend who's really obsessed with this actress in this play, so that's why he's bringing him there. Vito sees Don Fanucci at the play, and he finds out that he controls the area known as the Black Hand, and he's shaking down the actress's dad for money for protection. So this actress that his friend's into is,
Yes.
yeah. Vito is given a pillowcase of guns the next day. Don comes into his store, Don Fanucci, and gets laid off by his boss so that Don Fanucci's nephew can have his job. And the boss feels bad and tries to give him a box of groceries and brings his wife a pair.
He's like, no.
Which, yeah, take the groceries.
Yeah. You need them.
You need them.
You're gonna need them.
And that was so sweet of his boss.
Like he's like,
no.
my hands are tied. I have to do this. I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. You're not a bad worker. You're a good worker.
Right.
This is just what we have to do.
And it should also be mentioned they're only speaking Sicilian.
Yeah,
This is all subtitles.
All subtitles.
And I think Robert De Niro was like one of only like 6 people or something to have won an Academy Award speaking a different language. Yeah, like for. I guess it was main actor.
This was probably supporting actor. I'm thinking, but yeah.
He only speaks like 17 words of English in the whole movie.
Yeah, and so even after he gets like laid off or like and goes home, like he brings his wife a pear as a present.
Yeah.
Like it was very sweet.
Yes, he is a loving man.
Which we got that vibe from Vito and GF1. So.
Yes.
Vito meets Clemenza the next day, who we remember from Godfather 1, but again is much younger.
Yeah, wouldn't recognize.
Yeah, much smaller, who is looking for his goods, which are the guns. He gives Vito a rug in exchange for the guns. But Vito goes with Clemenza, who breaks into a fancy house and gets the rug
the rug
for Vito
from the fancy house. They were stealing it.
So we cut back to Michael, but I think it was somebody who owed him something. Yeah. That's why he took it.
Yeah, it wasn't just some random house.
No. They knew where this rug. It's like, hey, I got this really nice rug for you. Give it to your wife. We cut back to Michael in 1958, who's on a train and then driving a car to a small house, which we find out is Hyman Roth's. And this is down in, I think, Miami, correct?
Yeah.
Miami. Oh. Michael wants to make sure nothing will interfere with their plans and no war is starting, because he's still trying to get Hyman Roth to give up his shares to the hotels and embark on bigger ambitions in Vegas.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so Michael now goes to see Frank Pentageli, something. He's drunk from the beginning. The drunk from the beginning.
Yes.
Who now lives he's the one who lives in the old Corleone compound.
Oh, there he is.
For help settling the tension since there was the attempt on his life. He knows Hyman Roth was behind it with an unknown traitor within Michael's own family. He said his father taught him to keep his friends close and his enemies closer. So this is where the famous line is from. Yes.
Which is odd to have such an iconic line from a
sequel. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I have here that it was one of my stopping points. I was an hour and 19 minutes in and 2 hours were remaining. Fredo was revealed to be the traitor, and it's still unknown to Michael, though. Frank was nearly killed by the Rosato brothers when trying to settle things, but the cop walls in something. Okay. Tom Hagen goes to see the senator at a brothel. There's a dead hooker there.
Yeah.
And Tom covers for him for a price. So again, this is like the senator calls them when he needs something. Mm-hmm. And apparently this ain't the first time. Like he's had some problems.
He's had some assistance before. Yeah. To cover up his misdeeds.
Yeah. Kay and the kids are not allowed to leave the house for safety reasons. Kay was trying to leave, and they're like the store or something.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna go
the grocery store.
Yeah, the grocery store. We need groceries.
Yeah. Michael is now in Cuba. He's in Havana, specifically, as the representative for tourism and leisure activities with Hyman Roth. Mm-hmm. There's like a big sit down with all these people in Cuba, of all places.
I hate the sit downs of these movies.
Hyman Roth's birthday occurs while they're in Cuba. He's 67 years old and he looks like
close to death.
Yes.
Yeah, he is on death's
doorstep.
Now,
to be fair, he does have like some health ailments in this movie, but still.
He lives a fast lifestyle. Yeah. That could be why.
Michael is announced to control Havana interests in business after Hyman's death /retirement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Whichever
whatever
comes first.
right? Exactly. Michael.
This is when they're eating cake.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the cake scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat the cake.
I
was
know, it
hungry
looked
while I
pretty
was
good. They're like
watching it.
passing around. It made me think of like Office Space. I was like, I hope there's enough.
Look at
for
us
everyone. Michael discusses his worry about Cuban rebels after witnessing police incident earlier in the day. Things are tense right at that point in Cuba.
They are.
Hyman assures Michael that all is well and they are bigger than U.S. Steel. Fredo comes down to meet Michael with $2 million in cash for Michael to invest. And Michael and Fredo go out. Fredo is very nervous and expresses that he feels like an outcast of the family.
Because you are.
Yeah.
You made yourself that way.
He keeps making poor choices.
He's lazy.
Yeah. So Senator Geary is coming to Havana and Fredo is to show him a good time. Michael explains that he knows Hyman Roth will have him assassinated. Like, he knows it's coming. He knows what the plot is. He's never meant to take over Hyman's share of anything.
Yeah.
Hyman is not a fan of him.
Yeah, they're not. He knows it's not well.
Yeah. He pretends like they're all buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fredo is to act like he knows nothing as Michael plans to have Hyman Roth taken out. Michael then calls out Hyman for having Pentagali.
That guy who lives in the compound.
Who lives in the compound. That's a long last name that I'm butchering. Pantangeli, maybe.
Pantangeli. Pantangeli. You just don't have that right accent. That's all.
You gotta get the hand motions. So he is killed without Michael's okay. So, like, yeah. Hyman explains that Mo Green invented Vegas, so we're bringing back an old name.
Mo Green.
Yep, who we remember with his
With
glasses.
his X-ray specs on.
And Hyman is angry that he was killed, as who gave the order is unknown, and he's still looking for a partner in Michael. So maybe he knows. maybe he does.
Maybe.
And he's just keeping Michael close enough because you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Many senators and politicians have arrived to Havana at this point, and Fredo is claimed to have never met Hyman Roth or Johnny Ola before, which Johnny Ola is the other guy that he's kind of down there entertaining. But when taking all to a stag show, Michael hears him brag that he found the show from Johnny Ola taking him before. So he lied right to Michael's face.
Do know each other.
And
dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 and they're very much akin.
Yes, and like Michael hears and you just see him.
Yep, he's like
staring.
And Fredo has no idea that
Fredo's
he just effed up. Yep. Yeah.
He's busy partying.
He's like, he's trying to show off, like, I found this because he showed it to me, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now Michael knows he's a sneak.
Yeah. Johnny Ola is taken out by Michael's hitmen, and Michael, Fredo, and the politicians are simultaneously at a New Year's Eve party. Hyman Roth is in a Cuban hospital, and nurse briefly leaves. Oh, yeah, because he had some kind of health episode, right? Or was this when he was almost...
I don't know.
There was some kind of something.
He's not well.
He's not well. The nurse briefly leaves to her guard to ring in the new year at the nurse's station. Yeah. And Michael's hitman unsuccessful at killing Hyman and is shot instead as Fredo is betrayed Michael. Because I think Fredo tipped him off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was coming.
Fredo's in on all of it.
Fredo is a rat.
He is. He's terrible.
Do you know what a rat is, Mr. Hill? Do you know what a rat will do anything to survive, Mr. Hill? Listen, I don't know nothing about them and rats. Okay. So Michael gives Fredo the kiss of death at the party, like right on the lips.
And it's very passionate.
Yes, and informs him, you broke my heart.
You broke my heart, Fredo.
And that he knows Fredo, did him dirty.
And Fredo's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oops.
Like, Michael, no! Michael, no! I'm sorry! I didn't mean... Yeah.
Michael!
So Fredo's a rat. Fredo does not leave unstable Havana with Michael and instead runs off as rebels destroy the casinos and the town chanting Fidel, which is this, I guess, is the rise up of Fidel Castro.
Yes.
Okay, so Michael flees to America. I'm not great with that part of history. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We're Americans. We don't learn about other countries.
Kinda. Michael flees to America and Roth got out to a private hospital in Miami. So they're both still alive.
Yeah, somehow.
Michael is trying to track down Fredo, and while Michael is gone, Kay had a miscarriage, they found out. because the first thing that he asks like about is like the baby, and Tom informs him that she had a miscarriage.
So sorry to tell you.
Yeah. So we cut back to a younger Vito with his young family and the local Godfather asking for his kickback.
So you get to all this action,
and then it stops.
Let's go to the other storyline happening.
Which probably both of these storylines could have probably been in their own movie.
This drives me nuts because it was like someone in the writers' room was like, "Let's make a prequel," and then somebody else was like, "No, let's continue the story. Let's do it both." Yeah, they are like if you split this in half, they're like an hour and a half each, probably.
Yep. So the Godfather back in the early 1900s wants $600, and Vito has a plan to only give him $150. Vito finds Fanucci alone during an Italian neighborhood festival and says he will make him an offer he can't refuse. He's telling his buddies that,
he's been saying it all his life.
He follows him after Fanucci feels the puppet show is too violent for him. There's like a puppet show.
He's like marionettes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like, it's too violent for me. And shoots him with a homemade silencer after Fanucci says he needs to get him the rest of the money when in a cafe. Okay, he times the shooting during a fireworks display so that, again, it covers the noise. And he breaks the gun apart, hiding pieces across the rooftops of, like, these different, like, row homes and stuff, and returns to family at the festival with young Sonny and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Then
he just comes right up and holds the baby.
Yep. Bounces, yep. Hey. Intermission.
There's an intermission in the middle of the movie. It says intermission on the screen.
Intermission, yeah. And it's not a long, like, you'd have to pause it for it to truly
And I'm
be
sure in the movie theater, that's what they did. Like, allow everybody to get up and use the bathroom, buy some more snacks, and come back to your seat and continue on. It
boggles the mind.
What a terrible idea.
Michael arrives home to Lake Tahoe compound when we pick back up, and he finds that the house is messy, and Anthony's Christmas present that Tom Hagen got from Michael, like, he's like, what did you get my son for Christmas from me? It's left out in the snow. It's like a little red car, right? Yeah, that you can ride in.
Yeah.
One of Michael's soldiers at the Senate hearing, Sici, I think is how you pronounce the name. Michael talks to his mother and fears losing his family. And then we cut back to Vito, who is now respected as the neighborhood godfather. Mm-hmm. And word has got around about his power, and he gets his wife's friend's rent lowered when it was supposed to rise, and she was being evicted.
Yes. And then they don't exclusively state this, but this is supposed to be Sonny's wife's mother in the future.
Really?
Yes.
Real? How'd you find that out?
Or grandmother or something. Wow. Like, there's something, like, they said it in, like,
That's probably the wife's mother.
Yeah.
Because that...
Yeah, ages, yeah. So, yeah, the mother.
Oh.
So it's Sonny's future mother-in-law that he helps.
Okay. Huh.
Because the families are connected. That's how they met.
How would you know that?
The writers or whoever. Somebody... You wouldn't. They don't say it. But that's what they, like,
I don't think I ever
later.
even caught her name.
No. No, like, she's not important at all.
Wife, the first one, yeah.
No, they don't talk about her at all. But yeah, that's what they say. It's something with their character last names.
Okay, okay. Because, like, the only thing you see with his wife is like, oh.
Yep.
And that's it. And then being mad that Sonny is off philandering. I'm sorry, I lost my...
Our next movie.
Okay. So, we cut to Michael... we're starting to cut back and forth very, very rapidly
it's getting chunky now.
Who's also at the Senate hearings, and the senator stands up for Michael and Italian Americans.
Mm-hmm, because he has to, because they covered up his hooker business.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves. He's just like, I support them. Goodbye. And leaves the room.
Like, Michael denies killing Sollozzo, and the New York City cops. So this is still being brought up decades, later. And he's being, and he denies being the most powerful mafia head in the country and killing 5 family heads.
What are you talking about? You got that wrong.
And so just reiterates that he was a war hero and never, and did not plead the 5th Amendment. He was never arrested. Yeah. He could have done any of these things, and he didn't.
And it's kind of true.
Like, yeah. He's squeaky clean on paper.
Yes.
Pantangeli is found to be alive and working with the feds. So the whole time they think he's dead. Yeah. So he's working with the feds.
Mm-hmm.
Michael talks to Fredo, who claims he was in the dark before and didn't know a hit would be out on Mike. Give me a break. Fredo, you're lying. Lying through your teeth.
He's as greasy as his hair.
Fredo is upset that Michael is running things and controlling him since he is older, but reveals the head of the Senate hearing is owned by Roth and cuts Fredo off completely. Mm-hmm. So again, this is where I got a little squirrely with the ages because like I didn't see Fredo in that cutback scene where it was Michael that Vito, because when Vito does his hit and goes back to the family, he goes and picks up and says like Michael,
baby Michael is there.
Yeah.
Maybe he was playing there. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I don't know.
You see one of the kids.
Yeah, Santino, I thought. And then I think, was Connie even born yet? I don't think.
No, she wouldn't. If Michael was a baby.
Yeah.
Because she's younger than Michael.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, Michael doesn't want anything to happen to Fredo while his mother is still alive, but he has cut him off. Like, he won't even speak to him. Won't even be in the same room with him. Nothing.
He promised he wouldn't hurt Fredo.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not. There's no relationship there.
The next day, Pantangeli testifies and denies knowing the Corleone family.
He does
completely
changes his story. Yeah. They're all like, "What are you talking about? But where he was?" He's like, "Oh."
And that he made it up because that's what the feds wanted.
Yeah.
He talked to his brother. Came in though. Remember? Like,
yes, his brother from Sicily.
Yeah,
and just kind of stared at him.
Yeah. Kay comes to see Michael and is taking the children and not returning to Nevada and feels no love for Michael and reveals that she aborted the baby, his son. It was a boy.
I couldn't bring another boy into
and
this.
Not a miscarriage.
Yes.
And she did it because he'd never forgive her, or he never forgive her for doing that, so she could break off from him. Mm-hmm. But I mean, lady, like, you know, like she's all like upset because they're not legitimate, and like they said they would be legitimate, blah 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 blah. But like, yeah, it's not like he's out whacking people every day.
This under control.
Yeah. Granted, it's not the cleanest money, but I mean, come on.
But you said I do.
Yeah, and you knew going in. Come on, you saw when they were kissing his ring, and you're out getting drinks,
right? And you've already got 2 kids in this. Yeah. What's a third?
Yeah. Like, Okay. So Don Vito back to Don Vito takes his young family and returns to Sicily to see his mother, and goes for, which I thought she was dead.
Maybe she was just injured.
Dinged. And goes for permission from Don Sisio to import olive oil, which, remember, in the first movie, that was their business, was the olive oil business, and reveals who he is and kills Sisio. Because Sisio didn't remember him. Yeah, because he was the dumb mute boy who doesn't say anything. Mama has passed away. This is Vito's wife, Michael's mother. And Fredo's mother and Connie's mother has passed away.
Back in present
day. And the funeral is at the Tahoe compound with Fredo and Connie mourning by the casket. Mm-hmm. Michael refuses to see Fredo, but will see Connie, who requests staying close to home and asks forgiveness for Fredo.
And she's like, please, I know Mom's dead now, but please don't kill her brother also.
And please don't cut me off.
Yeah, and I need some cash.
Michael goes to see Fredo at the wake and hugs him. And the next day, Fredo is discussing a fishing trip with Anthony, Michael's son. Hyman Roth is in legal trouble and has a terminal illness, and Michael is still trying to take him out. Mm-hmm. So, the enemies are on the run, and Michael won, but still wants revenge. He's being passive aggressive with Tom Hagen too. Mm-hmm. Like, Tom Hagen's like not
the only level-headed one in this family,
and he's so like. He is like just the level head, like he's smart. He's the most like Don Vito.
Yeah, really. The non-blood child is like embodying him. Yep.
Okay, so Fredo was telling a story about how he was the only one who caught a fish with his father and brothers as a kid, and he said that the trick was you have to say a Hail Mary every time you cast out, and that's the secret. So he's trying to give like his nephew these tips and rebond with his family. Tom goes to see Pantagili for Michael, and Kay wraps up a visit with the kids as Connie warns that Michael is coming. Anthony refuses to kiss his mother goodbye. Anthony, kiss your mother goodbye.
Kiss your mother.
Michael closes the door on Kay, like right in her face. Like, and she's just like, look at like, and he's just like
Bye.
deadpan. Yeah, like he lets her come see the kids, and that's it. So Fredo is going out fishing with Anthony, who is pulled away at the last minute by Michael. Was it Tom comes and says your dad needs you up at the house or something
Yeah, I think so.
And Fredo will catch one for him, he says.
Will we?
Hyman Roth is arrested. Pantangeli is offed himself, and Roth is shot in an airport. Fredo is shot while fishing. And I said, why did I think this was a baseball bat? I thought it was like a baseball bat, like not a gunshot that took him out. Was it because South Park parodied it?
Maybe.
And it was Carmen has like a stick, and he's just like,
oh yeah, he's whacking him with a stick.
He won't like knock him out. He's like,
yeah.
But I thought it was a baseball bat in the original one. The original one. In the first time I saw this.
Yeah, the first viewing.
I thought for years this was a baseball bat.
I don't know. I never really thought about it.
It's a gunshot.
Yeah.
So he takes him out in the fishing boat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Per Michael's request.
Yes, Michael ordered the hit because Mama's no longer alive to protect him.
And he made Fredo seem like he wasn't.
I know. They come to you like friends. They come. Your killers come with smiles, Charlotte. That's how I knew they were cops. They were talking too much. If these were wise guys, I wouldn't have heard anything. So, flashback to the younger Corleone siblings in better times. That made me sad.
So they show like the grown-up Corleone kids.
They were.
But before Vito,
had passed. Like I think it was like when Vito was still sick upstairs. Like he was discharged from the hospital at home, and it was like Connie and Fredo and Sonny and Michael.
They talk about Pearl Harbor in it, don't they?
So you're right. That was earlier. Yeah,
so
it was
earlier.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and you're right, because Connie meets Carlo here.
Yes.
It was Sonny's buddy.
Yes.
And Fredo is naive and Michael's idealistic, and it's revealed that he quit college and enlisted in the Marines.
Yeah, they're talking about, and they're like, oh, it's crazy. What are you doing that for?
Yeah, like the world's upside down right now. What are you doing?
Yeah, and that's how Pearl Harbor came up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remembered it, they talked about Pearl Harbor because it's a movie mistake.
Oh, really?
Because in the first Godfather, they show his headstone, and he died in April. But that wasn't April, like it was, or the year. It was the year. Whatever.
Yeah, like 40,
something how it happened.
Or whatever, yeah.
So it didn't make sense.
Okay. So finally, Michael is sitting in the yard reflecting with the overlay of he and Vito waving goodbye on the train from a trip to Sicily. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. That's what it was. Sorry, I have to.
That's all right. No, please.
The headstone. It says because they talk about it being on his dad's birthday.
Okay.
Sonny says like.
Oh yeah.
Like
and Pearl Harbor was in December.
Yeah, and that's December, but it says he was born in April.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's why.
So
sorry, I had to clarify.
Yeah, I have some fun facts, and I'm sure Shelly has some too.
I might have used them all up now at this point.
Oh,
let's see.
Okay. Well, hopefully. Okay. First of all, I have my Sopranos shirt on from Holsten's. With the last scene,
the ice cream parlor.
Yeah, the last scene of The Sopranos was filmed there, and
that scene everyone loves.
Yeah, the favorite of the whole series.
Wraps it up so nicely.
Yeah, and I wore this shirt because I don't have I wore my Godfather shirt for Godfather 1. Don't have a specific Godfather 2 shirt or another Godfather shirt, and Johnny Ola in this movie was Uncle Junior in The Sopranos, Dominic Cheney's. Yeah.
Got some crossing over.
Yes, we have some crossing of the streams here.
That's every mafia movie.
Yeah, they're all
intertwined.
There's
they just
so
grab
many.
The same guys
There's so many ones.
to play the exact same characters.
So my other fun facts, other than Johnny Ola being Uncle June, is Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro are the only actors to win an Oscar for playing the same character in history.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yep. Talia Shire is Francis Ford Coppola's sister, which we said. She's Connie. De Niro only speaks 8 words of English in the entire film.
8 words. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Whew.
And John Cazale, who played Fredo, he appeared in only 5 films over 7 years of his life, and 3 were nominated for Best Picture. And that was Godfather, Deer Hunter, and Dog Day Afternoon.
He knows how to pick a script.
And he passed in 1978 of a very aggressive lung cancer. He was actually dating Meryl Streep at the time. Like, she was with him till the end. Yeah, they were very close. But yeah, like, he... You know, you hate Fredo in this movie, and then you feel so bad for Fredo, but he did such a good job with that, like, acting with this character. Like, he made Fredo, you know?
It's true. Like, Fredo needed to be that way.
Yes.
Like,
oh, yeah. To have this happen. Yeah, he needed to be that way. And he did perfect. Like, it was, I wouldn't change a thing.
No, not
So
at
those
all.
are my fun Godfather. Oh, my other fun Godfather fact is, like we said, Sofia Coppola is in all 3, like, as a cameo.
Yes.
She was the baby in the baptism scene in Godfather 1. This one, she's just in the background on the boat to America. She's one of the kids in there. And that's the only other
there's like a nice detail when Vito gets to Ellis Island. So they put an X on his hand.
Oh, yeah,
and that's like to mark when something's wrong with you.
Right, because they found that
he was deaf, he had smallpox, or not deaf, but they didn't know.
They didn't know what it was because he wasn't speaking.
Yeah. So, like, they marked him appropriately for what it was.
And it's ironic. I think that's why maybe they set him up for that, for him being, like, mute as a child. It's like he is such a good listener and level-headed and slow to speak in adulthood.
He doesn't talk very
much.
And
is why he was so successul in his adult life.
Definitely, yeah. He ponders, he processes, and then
the complete opposite of Sonny. Yeah.
Yes, exact opposite. I had another one and now it left me again.
Oh, sorry.
Sugar.
Do you want to do like...
Oh, they had to reshoot some of the Vito scenes, the early scenes, because some of the characters were wearing pants with zippers.
Oh, I did hear about that.
And they realized zippers hadn't been invented at this time yet. So they had to reshoot some where they specifically showed the pants.
With the buttons.
Yeah, like, buttons imagine that, like, money mistake. Because of zippers.
Somebody got fired.
Oh, yeah. I would have been like,
Now,
who's going to notice?
I know this is a very long movie. Squirrels. Let's get to the squirrels.
Yes, the squirrels. So... very high back in the day. I didn't remember a ton of this going into it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't think I watched very much of it.
I remember more the Vito part than the Michael part.
I didn't remember Vito at all.
Oh, okay. I remember Vito and I remember Fredo, and that was it.
I remember Fredo getting killed in the boat.
Yeah.
I kind of remembered the New Year's Eve scene.
Yeah.
Just because it was large and chaotic.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
But the rest...
I didn't know what was happening in it, though.
No clue.
No.
The whole movie, I had no clue what was happening. It took a lot of processing now for me to be able to
I really
follow.
had to pay close attention because there's so much and you're going back and forth constantly.
Yes,
and for as being slow moving as it is it's like, it's slow, but it's fast.
There's a lot to catch in each scene.
Yes,
and it
very
does feel
detailed.
slow. Like, the first one felt slow to me.
Yes.
The pacing is like, all right, get to the dialogue, get to the scene. You're walking, you're doing these things. So my squirrel rating was extremely high as children, in the hundreds.
I would think mine was too. As much as I love the mafia movies and the Godfather series, I love that when I was a kid. But this was long for me too. Like, even when I was a kid, it was very long. I was maybe 16,
the
15.
tones of the Godfathers are different than other mafia movies.
They are.
So
it's not the
darker,
big party.
it's quieter. It's not so there's not as many funny moments.
It's like an old fashioned film.
Yeah.
It's like the old school Hollywood film.
Yes.
It's not present.
And that's what makes it, I think, harder for us to latch onto.
We're just like our kids with these like fast videos. That's what they want now. Like we were the same way. I mean, like, it's a different kind of fast video, but yeah.
So now I'd say my squirrels are probably around 5.
Yeah, I would say maybe 3 for me.
And now that I understand the story, it's a very nice storyline.
Yeah.
Should have been 2 movies.
2
separate.
And, like, it would kill you. They did a good job. Like, I mean, I hate how they cut away, but I guess it's good because they keep you hooked.
Yeah,
how they cut away. You want to see what... But then by the time you get back to the story,
kind of forget what was happening.
and you lose your kind of, like, momentum. So that's my only critique with it. I was like, why am I supposed to be invested in this? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it took a lot of processing. It's hard. It's not something you can just lackadaisically watch. You have to be focused to follow along.
Yeah.
But... It's a classic.
It's a classic, and it's again like Oscar baby. You know, because it was really well received.
It did well
yes.
done.
Yeah, they're very well done. So I'm hoping this is shorter than our other ones. I feel like it was.
All right.
So thank you for hanging in with us.
Yes.
For the past couple weeks.
One more to go.
Well,
in the trilogy.
Yeah. It's like
the Mafia series ain't done.
We ain't done yet.
We're almost there.
We're getting there. And we're getting there. But we thank you for joining us. If you look in the description below this video, all the links to our social media are down there. We're on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook at Sisters and Ebert. Obviously, you found this video, so
yeah, follow along with
us. Yeah, we have fun little things to promote our
usually
our
on a Friday.
Yeah,
we put up a little teaser for what's
a little
coming Monday.
teaser, yeah.
So if you want a little preview.
And then we of course, like, subscribe, comment, tell us all the stuff that you feel about these movies. Are we out in left field? Are we just dumb and can't,
how many squirrels would you
are we just not able, like, intellectually able to keep up with this, or is this
probably
no? But I do love these movies. Like, it's just, they're a big watch.
They're a commitment.
They are. Yeah. We thank you though for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday at the movies.